What is this place?
Careful. We've got company.
Doesn't look like we're getting past without a fight.
Watch your feet. Fall from here and it's curtains.
We're just trying to... get past! Get out of our way!
Save your breath! While that thing seizes a talking meal!
Then let's show it how wrong it is! Is it trying to stop us?
No dawn will break this night!
The flashing part's their weak point!
Demon Fang! First strike! Talon Hurricane! Swallow Blade!
Waterfall! Freeze Lancer!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Sonic Talon Hurricane!
Not getting anything in armor is all mine! A thrilling performance. I've let you all down. Forgive me. Not my finest.
Shine! Radiant light! Boost of regeneration!
Regenerate! Lightning orb!
Imbue this
Fire
phase
Malevolent!
with light!
In here! This will come in
Shine!
handy.
Brilliant light!
This
One
is
regeneration! It's wide open!
It won't escape me.
Let me free you of the wall! Talon Hurricane! Dragon Swarm!
Enemies immobilized.
Now I'm in the groove.
Raging
Shine!
Cascade!
Radiant light! Cast of regeneration! Regenerate! You're done!
Is that a healing arm? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
Blow away! Elusive deity! Inferno! No further! I'm right behind you! Demon First Strike! I'll tear you apart! Eternal devastation! Do it! This one's mine!
Let's put you out of your misery!
Dance in the wind!
Mega
Get out!
Elusive deity! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'll tear you apart!
Rising One!
It's about to come at us. Look sharp!
Such unadulterated fury.
Rising One!
Not in your dreams!
Heal!
Here we
Its
go
wings
again.
are lighting up!
It's getting ready to attack! Eat this!
Deny!
Dance in the
Such
wind!
tremendous power.
Don't face it head on!
Sonic Thrust! Sword Rain Alpha! I won't lose.
Light after light!
No, not ever!
The picture of
Demon Fang!
I'll be evading this one!
Eat this!
Raging storm!
Radiant light!
Banana!
Not to the... Now! While it's reeling! Regenerate! Now I can let loose!
One more!
Swallow Blade!
Dance in the wind!
In a bind?
Rising
Yes!
Hydra!
Hurricane!
Hurricane
I'll be
Thrust!
evading this one!
Resonate with the
Hot
others.
flash!
Stalagmite!
Super swallow kick!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Tempest whirl!
Benediction light.
Celestial hammer!
Yeah, appreciate
There
the
you go!
concern.
Don't
The
let
sooner
up!
you stop thanking, the sooner you can start helping.
I mean, yes, sir.
Art expert coming through! Not in your dreams!
Ready and ready.
Dance in the wind!
Radiant light!
Air
Force
thrust!
of regeneration!
I can
Regenerate!
carve through armor.
Light after
This
light!
one's all mine!
That spot.
Lightning
The
orb!
finishing blow.
You'll need to beat me to it, kid.
I'll take on that challenge.
Tempest whirl!
Benediction light.
Demon Fang! Double Demon
Gale
Fang!
force! Raging cascade!
Eternal devastation!
Sleep now!
Knock it into next week.
Radiant light! Force of
Raging
regeneration!
power!
Regenerate!
Now I'm in the groove.
What would I do without you?
Eternal
Maybe
devastation!
show Kisara a little kindness, huh?
She's strong. She can handle herself.
You
Can't get out of
can be
this!
really gentle, Helene.
Solidity in an instant! Impact Frost!
fauna like that. I'm impressed so many people from Thistleum made it through here alive.
Who's to say there weren't a whole lot more of them who didn't?
Well, at any rate, it should be a safer climb now that we've cleared the way a bit, right?
No. So long as people feel the need to face terrain this perilous, I'd say true safety's some way off.
You mean defeating Volron and putting an end to the crown contest, right? I guess that would be the best solution here, huh?
We've wasted enough time here already. Let's get going. Xion needs us.
How are we still not there yet? It feels like we've been climbing this mountain forever.
It helps if you try not to look up or down. All you need is silent determination. Talking too much will only waste energy and burn you out.
I'm too tired to look up or down, even if I wanted to.
Take care you don't fall, at least. Unless you want to make a Zoogel's day, that is.
Zoogles? Why would they care if I fell or not?
How would you feel if a 3-course meal fell right out of the sky at your feet?
Zoogle chow.
Law? Best not to listen to him if you can help it. You'll only be encouraging him if you do.
Tell me that before I listen next time.
Still, Tohalim has a point. One wrong step and it's curtains.
Wouldn't it be great if we could all fly like Hootle? I bet even the refugees who didn't make it would have made it to Thistleum that way.
Until we magically sprout wings, let's just watch where we're stepping instead, okay? Come on. Xion's waiting for us. Not today! First strike! I'm just getting started! Double demon fang!
Ready!
Eagle strike!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Too slow! Leave the enemy's arms to me!
No complaints here!
Not on my watch!
Take this! I'm on it! Rising Wyvern!
Hey, when did I get so popular?
I'm on it! Rising Spell!
Now!
Jolie! Hey! Blow them away! How's that? Too slow!
Acceptable.
Our weapons are the sword and...
Fist and...
Staff.
And you ruined it.
We're so high up!
Are you insane? What the hell were you thinking? I thought we were gonna die!
One simply needs to be bold and act with conviction in times such as these.
Did you know it was gonna be safe before you jumped? Because I sure didn't.
More or less. I figured there would likely be a basin here akin to most such waterfalls.
Don't just make people jump off cliffs on a hunch!
we ever gonna finish climbing this ladder?
We're climbing a considerable height. It's only natural that it will take some time.
That's not the problem here!
We are getting closer to the top, aren't we?
You've just got to keep your spirits up, Brimwell. Positive thinking is everything.
We finally reached the top.
My limbs feel like they're about to fall off.
Already? You kids need to train more.
She's right. We don't have time to catch our breath.
Someone's got a lot of pep in his step.
Ow! Eat this! I'm surrounded!
Southern wind!
Elusive deity! Climb on it! Watch this! Resonate with the...
This one's mine!
Stalagmite! Eat this!
Shockwave flash!
Now!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
I'm ready! Stalagmite!
There's more where that came from.
Coming through!
I'm on!
Damn it!
No further!
I'll smash you!
Screaming pain!
I'll finish you here and now!
Bloody howling!
Resonate with the earth! Altered, I can carve through armor! I'll tear you apart!
Charlie Light Spear! This one's mine!
Far enough! I'm ready! Watch this!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Mega Sonic Block!
The enemy will hunt too.
We'll soon see about that.
Finish up!
Jolene! Hey! Blow them away! I'm just getting started! Resonate with the earth!
Wind Accelerator!
I'm ready! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Eat this! Talon Hurricane!
Shining
Be
Supernova!
still! Rising
Eagle
Falcon!
Assault!
So I still had room to grow. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Guess I misread the landing.
We did it. We've reached the top of the mountain.
About damn time. My knees are singing symphonies over here.
Look, there it is.
That's it. That's Pelegion, the seat of Volron's power.
So that's where Shion's being held?
Most likely.
Most likely.
That is what I said, yes.
Pelegion's still our best lead. So that's where we go, right?
Any advice before we head in there?
No.
No?
In the ancient tongue, Ganeth Heros means Fortress of Naught, though I fail to see what insight that nugget of trivia holds.
I guess I just thought you might have something we could use.
Since Volron became Lord, the only thing this realm has been known for is its shroud of secrecy. It is Volron's stronghold. All else is incidental. Just keep in mind that you can't be too careful inside.
Speaking of which, just how are all of us planning to get inside exactly?
It's not like there are any secret passages.
We've come this far. If there's no other way in, I guess we'll just have to use the front gate. Volron told us to come find him, which means he's expecting us. Let's do this the old-fashioned way.
Land of water or no, this place has a most curious atmosphere.
I'd be taking a dip in it if the circumstances were better.
Sorry, but we have to push through for now. Shion is waiting.
Yeah, I hear ya. A soak can wait.
I sure hope nothing bad's happened to Shion.
Keep those thoughts to yourself, Rinwell. Everyone's anxious enough as it is.
Sorry. It's just... I can't seem to stop thinking about it. What do you think it is that Volron wanted with her anyway?
Going by what he said back on Almadria's ship, it would appear his primary target is Alphen. Though, it's likely he hasn't forgotten the blow he sustained at Shion's hand either. That might even be what ignited his interest.
Yeah, did you see the way he reacted? It was like he was enjoying every moment. Even his pain at Shion's thorns. Oh, that guy's just creepy.
Let's just hope he's keeping his perverted tendencies in check.
What? Law? Don't say things like that!
It's not like we weren't all thinking it.
That's still no reason to...
All right, you two. Now that's enough already. Alphen shouldn't have to grit his teeth while he listens to you.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is. swear I've seen that castle somewhere before. Right. I remember seeing it from the cliffs in Calaglia, across the sea.
You mean Volron's castle?
Yeah, that must have been it.
Geographically, it would make sense. It's most certainly large enough to be seen from afar.
Back then, I had Shion and Zephyr with me.
Well, we haven't lost Shion. We can still get her back, you know.
That's right. I won't let Volron take her away from us.
This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? I wanted to ask you something.
I'm all ears.
How much contact did you have with the other lords back in the day?
I only saw or exchanged words with them on a handful of occasions. Not that I was particularly keen on even that much.
Almadria made it sound like the two of you had some kind of history together.
She was like that with all of the lords, not just me. She was always interested in who she could use, who had value for her own ends. Having said that, she wasn't quite so brazen back when we were still in Lenegus. In a sense, she may have been a victim of the crown contest as well.
Almadria? A victim?
To a Renin, there is no greater honor in life than being chosen to serve as a lord, let alone to go on and become the next sovereign. We are taught that from the day we leave the womb. There are few Renins who wouldn't be ecstatic at the prospect of ascending to lordship.
You were like that though, right? You've always struck me as a more grounded guy.
No sane Renin would ever dare admit that their interests lie in anything but power and prestige, even if they feel so in their heart of hearts.
The more you talk about it, the more it seems like the crown contest is nothing but misery for Renins, too.
Which is why I seek to end it. Not that I imagine Danins such as Rinwell are all that interested in hearing tales of woe such as mine. Do you mind watching our camp tonight? Shall we get moving?
I don't want Shion to get mad at us for dragging our feet.
Alphen?
She's the one that's kept us on track. Picked me up when I was down.
Sure.
I just thought she'd always be there.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. I'm on it. Eat this! No further!
These little kids are freaks about that form!
I'll tear you apart! Elusive deity! Glimmer eagle ray! I can carve through armor! Catapult! I'm on it!
This one's mine!
I can handle it! I'm on it!
Now!
I'll trip it up.
Hard steel!
First strike!
Freeze Lancer!
Begin!
I can do this all day!
Elusive deity!
Air thrust!
Like a demon land!
Over so soon? Let's see.
got.
Dance on the wind!
Come one, come all!
Not on my watch!
Denied! Hurricane!
It's time! Whoa, hey, one at a time!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
I'll face
Like a finely timed wall.
no armor can stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Arc sealed!
Seismic rupture!
A scream.
Rising sun!
Rending you a bloody hurricane! I'm just getting started!
Can you take it?
The tempest engulfs you! Away! Instinct sharpened! In your face! I can carve through armor! Begin!
Scream. Mega
Rending you apart! You may quit working!
Want me to pick up your slump then?
Just pointing it out!
Well, looky here.
No backing down! Blood! Rending you a bloody howling!
You're mine! It's over!
Reflect on thy sin!
Raging
Inferno! Denied!
Celestial
Devastation!
It's almost too strong! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
No further! Finish it! Outfit! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed wall.
This one's mine!
Shattering the pieces!
Let's get you all tucked
Attack
away.
time!
Could have been worse.
Hey, what do you say we fight that shining enemy?
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to
Odds of being interrupted.
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how brutal I can be! Rending your bloody howling! Do it! No! Demons descend! Flashing fang! Easy!
Way to go!
They smite with dragon blade!
Hold on to your art. Here I come.
Demon Fang!
Execution!
Demon Fang!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Double Demon!
Lightning
This
Orb!
one's mine!
Rending you
Light
apart!
up!
Bloody
Light
howling!
astral
I'll
energy!
smash you!
Double Demon Fang!
You require...
First strike!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Little help! Here goes!
Super swallow damage!
Purge malevolence! Arctic waterfall!
Demon lash!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Demon Fang!
Double demon fang! Everlasting shock!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! Bubble to me!
Dance in the wind!
Everlasting shock!
I'll get us
Begin! I'll
together!
smash you!
Demon Fang!
Bathed in
I'll
blood.
tear you apart! Rending you a bloody howling!
Demon Fang!
Banana!
Now
Let's
this
go!
is
Kitara frozen!
hammer!
We managed to pull through.
An opponent like this should be easy.
He's far enough! Talon hurricane!
Mirage!
Eagle bomb!
Raging
I'm on a roll now!
This one's mine!
Dust to dust!
Arch field! And don't mind if I do!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Take this!
Heal!
Soaring Ice Spear!
Rip and tear!
Dragon Swarm!
Dragon shout!
Captivity!
Eagle assault!
Rising Lightning! Hurricane Thrust!
Ready and clear!
Hurricane Thrust!
Now! Okay!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I think I'm getting stronger.
No choice!
Eat this!
You're mine!
Take this!
Talon Hurricane! Devastation!
It's out! The tempest and go! I'm just getting started!
More for the stockpile!
Blow away! This one's mine!
Eagle assault!
Air pressure!
I'll tear you apart! I'm on a roll
Megasonic
now!
Thrust!
Almost! I'm on hold! Elusive deity! Denied! Soaring! I'm ready! Take!
Blow them away!
I'm impressed you managed to keep up.
Don't patronize me.
This will be a delicious piece of cake! Not in your dreams!
I can carve through armor! Captivity! Ah! Super Swallow Dance! Here I come! I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Shine! I'm on! Radiant Lux! I'm ready!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life! Too slow! Death Blossom!
Air thrust!
Heal! That's
Charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop you.
Eat this!
Can't get out of this! Rising Wyvern!
Shine! There you are!
Not today!
Regeneration! Talon Hurricane!
Damn, you beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself!
Oh, like hell you
I'm on!
Rising Falcon!
Looks like we got them all.
Let's see what you've got.
First strike! Here I come!
Leave the charge! That does it!
Sovereign Alpha!
Why thank you, your lordship!
And will you lay down your life for your lord?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not be hasty. I can carve through armor!
Here's another!
Deity!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Soaring what's this?
Air thrust!
Glimmer Dragon!
Like astral energy!
The enemy needs ours too.
You'll soon see about that!
I'll tear you apart! Talon
Like astral
Hurricane!
energy! Whoa, hey! One at a time!
Could have been worse.
This one's mine!
Ruin captivity! I'll tear you apart!
Demon Fang! Swallow Blade!
Hitting strike!
Double Demon
Now
Fang!
you see what I can do!
Demon Fang!
Dust to dust! I'm on a roll now! Eagle! Leave the cards to me! Talon Hurricane!
You're mine!
Resonate with the earth! Eagle Assault!
Thunderblade!
Watch me out! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
I've been doing really great lately.
Here
No
goes!
backing down! Resonate with the earth!
Confiscated!
Talon Hurricane!
Lightning!
Eat this!
Lightning condemned!
Here I come!
Talon Hurricane! Death Blossom!
This one's all mine!
Talon Hurricane!
Sonic Thrust!
Death! I'm on a roll now!
Supernova!
I'm ready! Adrenaline! Demons descend! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Way to go!
First try! I'll finish you here and now! Swallow Blade!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I can carve through armor!
Take
Bring
one!
us all in!
Stay
calm.
Sleep now.
I shall provide assistance!
Hurricane! Pierce through!
Death Blossom! On
Sword
your
Rain Alpha!
Raging
Hurricane!
Storm! Alright, it's showtime!
Resonate with the earth!
Talon Hurricane!
No further!
Wind Astral Energy!
You're
Crazy
finished!
Cascade!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang! I'm even stronger than before.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Guess I misread the landing.
A fish! You saw it too, right? Now where might those fish be? Hup. I've got something. Ugh. 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 Anybody could reel in that.
Nice! You caught it!
Reel it in. Ugh. 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 I'll catch something bigger next time.
Maybe you could keep it as a pet.
Hup. All right. I'll catch something bigger next time.
Nice work!
No choice. First strike!
Here comes the hurricane! Arcane waterfall! That freaking does it! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! They're surrounding us!
You apart!
That freaking does it!
Double demon
No,
banging
not
you
my
apart!
I'm on Bloody Holiday!
Eternal
Ready to
Demon
finish it! Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Easy! Way to go!
In the group! I'll smash you!
Regenerate!
Super swallow dance!
Don't suffer in silence.
I'm ready! I'm well! Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Was that a new skill I saw back there?
Indeed. Well, sort of. Actually, it's a family staple harkening back 8 generations.
Maybe you can just write all this down?
Coming through!
Eat this!
Rising Wyvern!
Super swallow! Now you see what I can do! Negative gate! Hurricane!
Blow away!
Rip and tear!
Good thinking!
I can handle it! Watch it! Far enough!
Gale Force! Up and at 'em!
Talon
Let's go!
Hurricane! Take this! Glimmer
Air
Dragon!
thrust! Light
No
Astral
further.
Energy!
Eat this!
Sweet dreams!
This one's mine!
Now I'm in the groove! I'll face you!
Here I come!
I'm on it!
Supernova!
Oh, it's you! I'll grind you to gunk! Elusive deity! Rotating fire! That's my focus! Death Blossom!
Dance in the
Rising
wind!
Wyvern!
Sealed!
I'm on it! I'll face you!
Hold on to your art!
Dance on the
Here I
wind!
come!
I'm on it!
Now!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! We won that by a mile!
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now. What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
gosh. The castle's even larger once you get close to it.
What's that shining thing up top? A spirit vessel? It feels creepy, like it's watching over everything.
You think he knows we're here?
We'd best assume as much, yes.
What we have to do is simple. Just beat Volron and rescue Shion. That's it.
Try not to work yourself up too much. We have a lot of city and castle yet to traverse. This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Rise and shine. We're almost ready to leave.
We're almost there, guys. Don't let your guard down.
I'm excited just thinking about us barging through the front gate.
Ho! Are you Alphen and his companions?
Why would you think that?
You are the only one scheduled to arrive, and there are no unscheduled arrivals in Ganeth Haros. So I'll ask again, are you Alphen and his companions?
We are.
Then pass. Lord Volron is expecting you at Castle Delpharis.
Well, suppose it's rather nice of them to roll out the red carpet for us.
So we're supposed to meet him in there? What do we do now?
Let's see how things look around the city first. Then we'll make our way to the castle.
Not a slave in sight. Where is everyone? There aren't even any soldiers.
Something feels off. I don't like it.
Like the fact that the enemy could ambush us at any moment? Yeah, not crazy about that either.
No, not that. Something else.
That must be Volron's castle up ahead. I suppose we just walk right up to it then?
That's what the guard from before said. Now, if we only knew where they were keeping Shion, we could try to...
That's it! That weird feeling. It's not just that the city is empty. It feels like no one lives here at all.
Now that you mention it, it does feel strangely... artificial. Think maybe it's a district just for the Renans alone?
With all this open space, seems unlikely. Hey! You guys! What's going on? What was that about? They were Danins, right?
That wasn't normal. Wait, you don't think it could have been the fruit of Helgen, do you?
No, they seem too docile. What about astral energy? Could you sense any coming from them?
No, and I'm pretty sure I could tell if it was. If not that, though, then what?
Speaking of which, it didn't look like there was anyone guarding them either.
They were headed for the castle. I have a bad feeling about those boats.
I get what you mean. It didn't feel like those folks are just commuting to work.
The waterway they're floating on appears to lead to Del Faris Castle. If we follow it, we may learn more about what's taking place here.
So, any ideas what the deal was with that boatload of weirdos?
Your guess is as good as mine. They looked like Danon slaves, but beyond that...
This city is grander and more beautiful than any other we've been to, yet...
I know what you mean. From the architecture right down to the people, something feels off somehow.
I've long maintained one can glean a lot about a ruler from their city. Considering how unsettling this place is, I'd say I wasn't far off the mark. Despite its surface layer of majesty, walking around inside, it feels more like a hollowed-out ruin.
I say we follow after that boat. If we're lucky, it might be in the mood to give us some answers. I've seen ghost towns that were more alive than this city. Where the hell did all the Danons and Renans go?